Venice Biennale is always a big event in Latvia, in a Latvian art scene, and there are always lots of discussions which artists will represent Latvia and how to select them and so on and so on. And for this time we thought that it would be absolutely great if someone from outside could choose the artist, so that is someone who is not a part of our local art scene. And that's why the Contemporary Art Center Kim, which is based in Riga, they started that collaboration with Art in General here in New York, and that's why we invited two curators from Art in General and Barlow and Courtenay, and they basically chose those artists. Concepts that are behind the whole idea of our pavilion. So first is very closely related to the title of the exhibition, which is North by Northeast, and we've been also discussing a lot that it probably reminds of Hitchcock's movie North by Northwest or something else, but it's very closely related to the idea of identity, because it's everywhere else when you are outside Latvia, people are asking where are you from, and then you say Latvia, and they say what? Where it is? What are you talking about? Of course, it's a small country, and that's the way it is. And then we basically end up explaining that it's somewhere in northeast, because it's really, geographically speaking, Latvia is north by northeast from almost every place in Europe, also from Venice and so on. Artists are working with rural landscapes, with elements of countryside. For example, Kaspars Podnieks is living in a very small rural community, and he is also working there, so he's producing his work in that rural community. And Krišs, Salmanis, the other artist, is also rather often using the countryside landscape, and for Venice Biennale he's going to bring a real tree from Latvian forests to be a part of his installation. Third point that I think is important is also about sort of work ethic. That is something that is very characteristic to Latvian culture traditionally, historically. So we don't perceive labor as, for example, that alienated, capitalist, detached exploitation and so on and so on, but labor and work is kind of one of the basic traditional virtues, if you can say so. And both works that you will see also in Venice, they are extremely labor intensive, so that is something that you probably don't see at the first moment. There are just photographs and just one object there will be, but the idea that there is a very huge physical and mechanical labor involved with many assistants and so on, and I think it's also part of that question about the identity, who we are, and how we can talk about that.
Sometime in the end of the 80s, when I was a kid, but already reading, I heard that the center of Europe was found in Latvia, and that made me pretty proud at the time. But since then, the middle of Europe has moved, and it's been in Estonia and in Belarus and in Hungary, and now they have erected the monuments in Lithuania and the theme park, I understand. So it's been north and east and south of Latvia. We're still in the middle, in a way. And in that time, of course, we've been desperately trying to slide westwards. While, at least in the last 5 or 10 years, the economical and the political winds have turned in the north-south direction. And again, we're not neither Scandinavians nor Southerners, so and if you do believe uncertainty principle, which states that for tiny particles it is impossible to determine their position and their velocity at the same time, then maybe it doesn't really matter that much either. And maybe the position is not the main thing, but the movement. And I think that's what my work at Venice Biennale will be about. It's a fixed tree, as all the trees are, and countries as well. But it is swinging, but I still haven't checked whether it is in the north-northeast direction or it's just an artistic line. Yeah, but the title of the exhibition that we are doing together with Kaspars Podnieks is North by Northeast, which is the general direction you had to travel from almost everywhere in Europe to get to. The combination came from art in general, which is our curators, together with Zane from Kim. It was a surprise initially, because neither Kaspars nor I are very much into collaborations, and a relief at the same time because they did not insist on us collaborating, so we are doing our own things, but somehow they complement each other.